I never thought a simple trip to the attic would change my heart forever. My name is Emily, and this is the story of how my husband's young son, Jake, helped me understand the hidden language of love and healing. It started on a quiet Saturday morning. My husband, Mark, was out running errands while I stayed home, catching up on chores. As I folded laundry in our small living room, a soft thumping noise drifted down from the attic. I paused, confused. Mark usually kept the attic locked, not because there was anything secretive inside, but because it was dusty and cluttered, not a place for a child to explore. But there it was again, a faint, rhythmic sound. Curiosity nudged me toward the attic stairs. As I crept up, the old wood creaked beneath my feet, echoing faintly through the silence of the house. I hesitated at the door, listening carefully. A soft sound, like the quiet clatter of small objects being moved, reached my ears. I gently pushed open the door, expecting to find perhaps a loose shutter, or maybe a trapped bird. But what I found instead stopped me cold. There, in the dim morning light filtering through the attic's tiny window, sat Jake, Mark's 8-year-old son from his previous marriage. He was sitting cross-legged on the dusty floor, completely absorbed in what he was doing. Around him lay a scattered circle of old toys, wooden trains, little action figures, and a faded teddy bear. His small hands moved carefully, lining up the toys in neat rows, his head bowed in concentration. He didn't notice me at first. His dark hair fell over his forehead, and his expression was so serious, so intense, that my heart tightened. For a moment, I simply watched him, unsure whether to interrupt. Then he looked up. His face went pale, eyes wide with shock and fear. He scrambled to hide the teddy bear behind his back, as though he had been caught doing something wrong. I took a careful step forward, softening my voice. "Jake, it's okay." His small frame stiffened. "I'm sorry," he whispered. "I didn't mean to. I knelt down, ignoring the dust now clinging to my jeans. "It's okay," I repeated gently. "You're not in trouble. I didn't know you liked playing up here." He didn't answer, just glanced nervously at the toys like they betrayed some secret. A long silence stretched between us. I could feel the walls around him, walls I hadn't realized were there, holding him distant from me even after all these months. Finally, I asked softly, "Did these toys belong to your mom?" His lip trembled, and he shook his head. "They were Dad's when he was little. He said I could have them, but I didn't want to break them." Something deep inside me shifted. I sat down beside him. Slowly, carefully, I picked up the old wooden train near his foot. "I don't think these toys mind being played with, Jake." His glance flickered to mine, unsure. "They were made to be loved," I added. For a moment, the silence held. Then, like a dam cracking, he let out a tiny, shaky breath. "I used to have a bear at Mom's house," he whispered, staring at the teddy clutched behind his back. "But I lost it." A soft ache bloomed in my chest. "Maybe this one can help until you find yours again," I said quietly. He hesitated, then slowly pulled the teddy bear from behind him and placed it carefully in his lap. His small fingers brushed its worn fur. "I didn't think you'd care." That sentence broke me more than anything else. "I do care, Jake. I care a lot." His small body trembled. After a pause, he leaned, so slightly, against my shoulder. And in that quiet attic, amidst forgotten toys and sunlight dust, something invisible but strong wove between us. Later that day, when Mark returned, he found us both downstairs, sitting together at the kitchen table. Jake was telling me about his favorite dinosaurs. His small hands moved animatedly as he described each one, his voice more alive than I'd ever heard before. Mark caught my eye, confusion mixing with quiet relief.
I just smiled, and he smiled back.
From that day forward, Jake no longer hid in the attic. Together, we cleared out a corner of the living room for his toys. He taught me the names of his dinosaurs, and I taught him how to bake simple cookies. Small things, but in the space of small things, love quietly blooms. A month later, Jake surprised me. He gave me his teddy bear. "For you," he said, cheeks red, avoiding my eyes. so you don't get lonely when I'm at school. I hugged it, and I hugged him, tighter than words could ever explain. I used to believe families were built by blood or marriage. But I've learned they're built by something else, by patience, kindness, and showing up, even in dusty attics, when someone small and scared doesn't expect you to. Today, Jake calls me his friend. And that, to me, is the greatest title of all. Our house isn't perfect, but it's filled with moments stitched together in love. And every time I see his toys scattered across the living room floor, I smile, because they're not a mess anymore. They're a reminder. A reminder that sometimes, when you follow strange sounds into old attics, you find more than forgotten toys. You find family.
The end.